fantastic. You guys are amazing. So I don't know if really quickly you want to do a round robin and just say like, y'all rock to everyone who's watching, or if there's just something you want to say really quick, Damon?
Yeah, no, obviously you all rock. Thank you so much for hanging out with us over these past 4 days. Happy E3, everybody.
On behalf of Soup Pot, which was one of my favorite games at the GameSpot Showcase, salamat sa iyong lahat.
Thanks for listening to me talk about Lady D and Bayonetta my name's Avli. You can find me at G4 Content.
And, Dan!
And Dan.
Did you cut off Dan?
That's all. No, have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you. And Dan.
All right, well, don't worry. They're going to be back here later. We're going to bring them back on stage later, but this is basically our last segment talking about games and reacting together. But we still have so much left, so do not go anywhere. Make sure you're sticking around, because still ahead, it's our E3 Awards. Which games were the most anticipated from our studio?
Voilà.
Stick around and find out as E3
Tac.
2021 continues. We'll see you in a little bit.
Ce sont les E3 Awards, le 3 Awards pour clap de fin de l'E3. On est parti dans pas très longtemps, dans moins d'une minute. Non mais voilà, c'est clap de fin pour l'E3 2021. Rendez-vous en 2022. C'est parti.
Innovation. It's happening all around us. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but we know our broadband network will be ready. Because we're building it right now. It's more reliable, more secure, and 10 times faster than today. 10G will power America's digital future. We're ready for what's next. Are you?
More power.
IGN Summer of Gaming has officially partnered with the ESA for E3 2021. IGN Summer of Gaming is now all summer long. From major press conferences and announcements at E3 2021 to the IGN Expo with exclusive gameplay and reveals to exciting first looks at the hottest new games and in-depth developer interviews, IGN Summer of Gaming has it all. IGN Summer of Gaming begins right now.
Hello, and welcome back to E3 2021. Video games are for everyone, and gamers come from all walks of life. So it would seem obvious that the characters and heroes we play in these virtual realities represent that diversity. But the hard truth is, it hasn't always been this way. So we turn to the voices at E3 to discuss Black representation in the games we love.
On va voir quel studio nous a le mieux payé.
Hello, I'm Amber. I am a moderator for E3's Black Representation in Gaming panel. Today, I am excited to present to you J.Ann Lopez, Zach TTG, Tanya DePass, and Fiona Nova. We're going to be talking about creating better representation in the gaming space. First, if we could do like a quick, brief intro of everybody, starting with J.Ann.
My name's J.Ann Lopez. I'm the founder and CEO of Black Girl Gamers, which is a community-focused platform. Started about 6 years ago now. It is the largest platform of Black women gamers in the space globally. We are a space that do workshop events. We change the narratives in gaming when it comes to representation in the past and the present and future. We also discuss the workforce, and we also do talent brokering as well. So an area that I've moved into is talent brokering of Black women content creators to work with brands.
How you guys doing? Zach TTG. First, I just want to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to come here. I'm a YouTuber and streamer. I'm part of a group called 2Hype. And we recently just joined 100 Thieves esports organization. So representing those guys too. But yeah, I just make sports content. I stream sports games, make sports videos, play sports. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey everyone, I'm Fiona Nova. I am a comedy online content creator. I work at Achievement Hunter, Rooster Teeth, as well as a creative producer at G4.
Hey, I'm Tanya. What I do is I founded and run I Need Diverse Games, which is a not-for-profit aiming to get more people in the industry and keep them there. I also am a partnered Twitch streamer and content creator, and I also do a lot of RPG work. I created Into the Motherlands, which is an all Black and POC crude stream and soon-to-be setting book. And I do a whole lot both in the RPG and video game space.
Awesome. So the first question that we have today is, I'd like for us to talk a little bit about why it's important for games where players create their own characters to have better representation.
Because a character creator can't be, you know, like the 5 different shades of beige that we all get, the nondescript brown that nobody really is in real life. You know, we all come in different shades. And it'd be great if if any one of us on this panel could create a real facsimile of ourselves in these character creators. And some games are doing better with skin tone, but a lot of games are still falling behind when it comes to hair. You know, I can't think of many games where I can actually have my hair, which is locks, in there and have it not look like yarn or steel wool. And, you know, the overall thing, before anybody else jumps in, is that gaming is global. And they need to realize that it's not just 18 to 35-year-old white dudes playing and buying these games and making these games. So if you're not thinking about the people sitting there with a controller in their hand at the keyboard, you're not thinking about your audience. And my money's just as green as anybody else's. So it's a clear sign you don't actually want my money if you don't think I belong in the game worlds you're creating.
Basically, everything that Tanya said, and also to add on to the kind of hair and skin tone, is the facial features. A lot of the time when you're playing like a custom character creator in a game, the character will be Black but have very European focused features, so it looks like the character's in blackface, and it's not a nice experience for you to have when you're playing the game. I was literally playing a game yesterday where I created my own character, and I literally just disengaged because I was like, I don't like this character. She doesn't really represent me, and she looks weird, and the hair is weird, and it just feels off. And that's a game that's recently just come out. So we still have a lot of work to do in this space, and everything that Tanya said is completely accurate.
Especially character customization is essentially you're trying to put yourself in the game. And if you can't put yourself in the game, you're trying to make someone that looks like you, because you're trying to get immersed into a game and in a world. And if that person's not looking like you and there's no way to make it look like you, then it's just like, what's the point, essentially?
I mean, a lot of sports games, like, it's hard for me to find my skin tone because it's either like white or black, and I'm both of those, so there's nothing in the middle. The hair, like, it's hard to find hair. Like, not, you could be maybe a black skin color character, but your hair is like short and straight. Like, we don't really look like that. It's hard to find exactly what it is. And I think if you can have like this RGB spectrum of t-shirts, like, why can't you have that for skin colors? I feel like the coding is it's not hard. I understand coding. I know you can do it. It's just a lot of studios don't think about that when they're creating the game.
I know that we touched on it a little bit, but could we talk about what better representation looks like in video games?
Looks like us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
and not just us as well, because
just so many
if you look on the
people.
Exactly, because if you look on the spectrum, we are on the light and bright, and it's essential to represent all different shades, especially in the gaming industry. And I think it's key to understand that representation has to be authentic and it has to be accurate, and you can't just throw in a black character and think it's going to work. It's not always going to work, because at the end of the day, as people of color or black people, we're going to notice straight away, boom, that's not right. Like, that looks odd. I know Tanya does it a lot. I do it a lot. And we just like, who's in the team? Because we can immediately tell. So I think it needs to also the representation on screen is a reflection of sometimes, a lot of the time, a reflection of who's working on the game.
Absolutely. That's literally what I was getting ready to say. Is you can tell some of the games, like there's no black people working on these games. There's no, people of color. There's no Hispanic people working on the games because none of the characters look anything like those types of people at all. And I see that some games try, some studios try, but like you said, like when we get a hold of that game, we can see right through it. Like I appreciate the effort, but you didn't do it right.
But I also think it's so easy to just hire a black person to come in and help y'all out. Like, I just think I think it's something that's super easy to fix.
Bouncing off of what we've been talking about so far is, for better or for worse, there has been a big uptick, possibly for, as you guys said, optics. So two phases to this question. One, what can the game industry itself do to help that momentum and keep Black people in the public eye, keep our voices elevated? And two, what can we as a community do to help with that momentum?
I would say, I think the key word here is longevity and consistency. I think when it comes to programs, make sure they are on an annual basis. Making sure that you're working with organizations or content creators on an annual basis so that they can continuously have that visibility or either or do the work.
Ça marche, c'est bon. En fait, les tirer, c'est des vrais tirés, c'est pas des faux tirés.
Again, like I mentioned before, a lot of companies will
Et je déteste quand quelqu'un m'apprend quelque chose que j'aurais dû savoir depuis longtemps.
And I think that's one of the problems, is that there's no consistency. And I think also the part of the problem is that a lot of game companies, because of the makeup of this industry, they've created this imaginary racial equal race behavior that we don't actually have. And so no one really understands how to discuss race and representation critically and well. I think there's a lot of surface level discussion that continues that we should be past a long time ago. There should be some intake programs for companies on an annual basis that should be normal. That should be normal. We shouldn't be celebrating it anymore. That should be a normal thing that should be happening. But again, because we're so late in the game, pardon the pun, it just feels like we should be celebrating things that should already be happening for us. Like, hurry up.
Yeah.
Sorry, basically.
The other thing that happens, this panel notwithstanding, anytime or most of the time when I'm asked to do stuff, it's a diversity panel. It sucks to be brown in the industry. I have a UX degree. I've been streaming for 7 years. I'm creating RPGs. I've been doing a lot of stuff. But anytime I get reached out to, it's like, oh, can you come and talk about diversity? And yes, that is part of my job, but that's not the only thing I ever want to talk about. I want to sit and chill with people about Street Fighter V strats. I want to talk about, I suck at Bloodborne. I need to get better. How can people help me with that? There are things that we can all talk about that do not involve the trauma of being Black in these spaces. And it's trauma. It's not just, oh, somebody was mean to me today, blah, blah, blah. Some days it's legit traumatic to still be on the internet as a Black person, let alone show your face, anything else. And just give people the resources, give us the space to grow and not make it an after school special. Oh, look, here's this one spot for the brown kids, go. And then give us one laptop, one coding course, and like, deuces, hope you succeed. Give us mentorship, give us these other things. And by give, I mean, you still got to apply, you still got to meet the standard. But a lot of times when I've done programs, I'm one of 2 or 3 Black people. Or I'm the only brown person in the room, the only woman in the room or non-man in the room, the only outwardly queer person. And sometimes they'll use that, we got all 3 in one person, let's go.
They do that with me. Yep. And they also use that, and I also can see it where they'll use me instead of like a dark-skinned Black woman because I can pass, right?
It's true.
And
You're more
it's true.
acceptable.
You're more acceptable. Yeah, I am.
I get the same thing.
You get the same thing. You're light-skinned, but you're Black.
But I'm still
you're
Black.
gay. Yeah. Like, oh, you're gay. You have like all 3. It checks out, or whatever. It's like it's like a checklist.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting, really, and it's very frustrating because I can see it. I know.
Yeah, and I think that us as creators and other Black content creators, I think when we do get these opportunities to say something, we need to speak up and we need to be ourselves. If you get an opportunity to host, you got to put on. You know what I'm saying? You don't conform to what they want you to be. Be yourself. Represent yourself. Like people are saying, you know, like Black people are loud. Keep being loud until they hear us. That's who you are. If you're a loud person, you're a loud person. It doesn't matter if you're Black or white. Just be yourself, because there's other people out there that look like you or that feel like you or talk like you. They want to be represented. So we have to do our part to represent them, because we would want that ourselves if we were in their shoes looking up.
Yeah, because I mean, I even said today on Twitter, we're doing this. I know for a fact if I wasn't light, I wouldn't be where I'm at, because nobody would listen to me as a dark-skinned woman. Nobody.
This is sad truth, unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, oh no, you're, you know, smart, you know yourself. I'm like, but if I was darker, you know that I would immediately be dismissed. Let's just be real.
That is all the time that we have for this panel. I want to thank all of you for making time to come here. This has been very illuminating and very salient. I wanted to go ahead and thank my 4 guests one more time: Jan Lopez, Zach TTG, Fiona Nova, and Tanya DePass. Thank you for tuning in to E3 2021, and we will see you soon.
C'était très beau et intéressant.
E3 2021 comes to a close. We want to take the time to honor the developers' hard work and the oohs and ahs they gave us over the last 4 days. Voted on by representatives from our media partners, IGN, IGN China, PC Gamer, GameSpot, Games Radar, and Game Bonfire, we have selected the most anticipated games that were announced by each developer or publisher, as well as the most anticipated game overall announced all week long. To be eligible for an individual award, developer, publisher, or studio had to showcase more than one game, and we will even honor the best presentation of this year's Expo. So with that, drum roll please, Golden Boy. We present to you the 2021 E3 Awards. All right, starting with our first developer, Ubisoft. The award for most anticipated Ubisoft game goes to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Mario, okay.
And I was going to say Far Cry. I thought that would have been a shoot,
Yeah, me
right?
too.
I didn't see that one coming. But of
Well,
course.
when this one was, you know, kind of got out there a little early, everyone was excited
Sure,
about it.
no, I love Mario Rabbids, so another one I'm all about, yeah.
First game was fantastic. No shocker here. This is cool.
Yeah, makes sense, I guess, on that one. So let's move on then. Gearbox Software closed us out on Saturday's preview night, and the award for most anticipated game from their presentation goes to Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Of course. No offense to Godfall, but of course it was going to be Tiny
exactly.
Tina's. Like, that was the one, right, that we've been aching for more information on, right? Still just
Totally.
getting that sizzle teaser. It's like, okay,
Just
let's a little bit.
taste,
I know,
just
right?
a little taste, but definitely in for that one. I mean, the cast alone, Will
Tiny
Arnett, Wonder
Tina's
Stripes,
Wonderland
Adam
pour
Sandberg. I'm like,
Gearbox.
Ashley Burke.
Andy, I
Put
just,
some respect on the name, all right?
I was
Ashley Burke.
thinking, I don't know why I just said Adam.
I think you're thinking Sandler.
I didn't think
Which Andy
you. I was
Sandberg
like,
will be really mad
what?
about that. So
Sorry,
Somebody
everybody.
put this out, send it to Andy
Sorry.
Sandberg. So
send it to Andy's people.
Next up for discussion is Xbox and Bethesda, and the award for most anticipated game for Xbox or Bethesda is, Golden Boy?
Halo Infinite. Yes.
No Redfall? Dang.
Can you
course,
I
Halo
mean, don't get me wrong,
Infinite.
No,
Redfall
Halo
looks awesome. Go get him
Infinite,
arcade,
yes,
but like,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Well, obviously for it being Halo, but for the future of the franchise, it looks really good. They did a great passover with the graphics, which is something everyone really wanted to see. They also had an awesome multiplayer showcase where they showed a whole bunch of new features like bots that are going to be coming to the game, which is great for players that maybe are a little too intimidated to play against actual players, that they could, you know, go in there, learn the ropes, get in, play some Halo against their friends. It's awesome. I'm so excited for Halo Infinite.
all right. Square Enix caught our attention with their list of announcements, but the award for most anticipated Square Enix game goes to
Life
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yay, you're all smiles.
I am all smiles.
Yeah.
Shoe in again. Eidos Montreal coming out. This is what we've been talking about all week long when we were previewing and hinting around about rumors, right? Of like Eidos Montreal, incredibly talented studio. Deus Ex, a game franchise, and especially there too, that has cemented them to so many fans as an amazing developer. But it's a different kind of game. It's an IP maybe you don't connect with, maybe you don't get involved. Putting Marvel in front of that, I think, is really going to boost their profile and show the world what they can do the same way Insomniac did with Spider-Man.
It was such a great presentation,
Rip,
too.
Starfield,
I mean, we
du
got
coup, hein.
such an inside look at the game and saw the mechanics and just how the characters look, and the funny lines delivered, so I'm excited for that one.
Of course.
Yep.
The PC gaming show was a lot of fun and brought us so many looks at an array of cool
Aye, aye, aye.
games on the horizon. But the award for most anticipated game of their presentation goes to Songs of Conquest.
Okay, interesting one. Yeah, oh yes, this one was actually really nice.
I mean, look at the art style
the
right
animation.
there, right?
Pixel art style. I mean, that goes to show you too how many games were shown at the PC Gamer
More than
Showcase.
30, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this is Coffee Stain, I believe, a great group. This is going to be a game to look out for. Undoubtedly, looks fantastic, and you know, if it's a Coffee Stain production, you know it's going to have great
You know
value.
It's gonna be good. You know
So many games embracing the stylized pixel art, and I love it.
Yes.
I'm here for it. I'm
Yes.
here for the classic twist, baby.
So did the entire media panel. That's all they talked
I know,
about all week,
exactly.
right? Future Games wasn't to be outdone with a list of titles to catch our eyes. And the award for most anticipated game goes to Immortality. Don't read ahead. Don't read ahead.
Sorry, I cheated.
You don't ooh before I say what it is.
This is a very ominous teaser here. If you guys
100%,
remember,
yeah,
the
yeah.
poster's just going up in flames, as you're about to see behind us. So, I mean, for me, the music got me, and it was just the mystery of this one. So I definitely want to see more.
Sure. Well, I mean, coming off the success of Telling Lies, right? A game that relies on video footage, right? Getting into it. Her story, the game before that really established this from Sam, right? Going in, what's the story? You being the detective, figuring it all out, immediately shot to the top of my list as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't cheat anymore.
Thank you. Don't. And Golden Boy, don't you either. All right?
Promise.
And Television knocked our socks off with a family-friendly console reveal, and the most anticipated game from that presentation is Asteroids.
Simple, baby.
A classic.
It's a classic,
right? Yeah.
You can't be mad about that, dude.
Yeah.
I put Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, but that was just like they're working on an Earthworm Jim. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
show the game. This was all about how the controllers work and getting everybody together to play a
Astéroïde
simple version of
pour
something. and that's
Intellivision
why
game.
Asteroids wins. Okay.
Okay, good. It's got Jackie's seal of approval, everybody. We're all right.
That's a real award.
When it comes to indies, there are so many great indie titles to choose from, and they all show us that there's really no gap between small games and AAA games in 2021. The award for most anticipated indie game goes to Falling Frontier.
Oh, yeah.
This one got you too? This is on your radar?
Yeah, this one looked really good. I mean, well, for one, anything with a space, angle to it is always going to be a winner for me. And I believe this is the one that was like more of that strategic type of atmosphere that it presented. So I actually really like this game. And again, the Indie Game Showcase was very competitive as well.
Yeah.
Lots of great games shown. Congratulations to them.
And I think, the indie scene bled so much beyond the showcase, right? Where there were so many different indie games peppered throughout presentations, different publishers, even GameSpot today, like they had so many great things. Competitive space for sure. Speaking of competitive, Greg Way, Freedom Games established themselves again as a dev that makes family-friendly games that are fun. And the most anticipated one from their announcement goes to Airborne Kingdom. This is the first one I will argue about.
Okay.
What? Who did the dog
I
shit?
was like,
Come on. It's a great game. I'm not
It
knocking
looks
it.
awesome.
To the
It does
rescue.
look really
no love
good.
for To the
Freedom
Or
Games.
Cafe Manager.
Exactly.
Had
Aye.
so
Too many good games.
many games.
There was
too many good games.
For me, and I think for all of us, and even for our media friends, I think Freedom Games was like a star of the show for us. So
C'est vrai
many
qu'il a l'air
great
trop bien.
games from that group, and I'm so excited to see what they're going to be bringing in the future. Because now that they're on the map, I'm sure more people are going to be paying attention.
100%, yeah, and I think their presentation was so good at putting developers as people front and center.
Yeah.
This is who we are. We're a small team. This is what we're
Goes
doing
to
and why
show
we're
how
doing it.
passionate we are that we were like, there's so many games,
True.
so it was awesome.
Yeah,
Good job,
showing their
Freedom
story
Games.
to create the story. I love that.
Exactly. All right, Capcom is no stranger to anticipated games in their library, and after Monday's presentation, the panel voted the most anticipated game is The Great Ace Attorney. Two great Japanese Phoenix Wright
I
games
thought your
coming
Monstie
here.
was gonna get this
You know,
one.
I thought the Monstie would too, but
I
I
was
think...
ready to say Monstie stories too as well.
I'm glad
Of
you-
course, bien
Monstie.
évidemment. Mais moi, je.
This game
même
looks
moi, ouais.
great though. I
Of
can't
course
take it
it
away.
does. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Yeah.
Il y
I
a
mean,
un
Phoenix
tout
Wright
nouveau
already has such a
gameplay,
passionate
donc ouais,
audience.
ça a l'air pas
To
mal.
finally get these games over from Japan,
Enfin,
to go
deux
back in
nouvelles
time, see the
montures,
lineage of
montures.
it, be in merry old England,
Un
oi
gameplay.
governor. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Let's not
and
forget.
Herlock Sholmes.
Yes,
Best name ever. So that's a winner.
Love it,
That's a
love it.
winner.
Exactly. Good job, Capcom. Now, Nintendo opened up the final day today, dropping a few gems, but the award for most anticipated announcement had to go to Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Come on, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2.
Easy, yeah.
I'll argue this one, man. Metroid was great.
Oh, Metroid was
I know people are
really
going to fight me
good.
on that one. I'm just
Yeah.
excited for Metroid. Sorry, don't mind me.
Are you excited for Breath of the Wild 2, though?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I am. Obviously, Nintendo showed a lot of awesome stuff.
C'était
Breath
qu'une
of the Wild
évidence.
2, though, we were hoping we were going to get it. We got a lot more than what I was
Comme la win de The
anticipating.
Last of Us
And
partout
this is going to be a
Game
special
Awards.
one.
Yeah, of course, targeting 2022. I love how honest they're being of like, we're targeting 2022. Like, there's a lot that goes into this game. A lot could happen, and we are, as we talked about multiple times throughout this entire show, coming off of a global pandemic.
Yes.
So it's a miracle
Yeah.
we're getting any games, let alone the fact that we're seeing Nintendo be transparent about it, let alone the rest of their lineup, including Advance Wars, don't forget.
Oh my goodness, I just want to get my hand on that flamethrower gauntlet thingy and just.
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
okay.
You don't have rage
Me
issues.
and the
A
violence.
little concerned. This is my friend.
We got to see some great things from Eureka Studio. The award for most anticipated game from them is Loop Mancer.
Yes. This one came out of the gate fast, and I think a lot of people were just like, visually stunning.
Yeah.
You know, side scroller, got a lot of action in there. I'm keeping this one on my radar for sure.
This trailer just hit all the check marks.
Loop
Like you said,
Mancer
animation, the
pour
music,
Eureka.
protagonist looks amazing. Look
Production
at this
value.
villain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So not surprised by that at all.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The appetizers are out of the way. It's time for the big ones. We had a number of great presentations over the last 4 days, making this award a very difficult one to choose. But someone had to, and our panel voted. The best presentation of E3 this year was
Alors,
Xbox and Bethesda's showcase.
bien
Without a
évidemment,
doubt.
bien évidemment.
Pedal to the
Without
metal
a
from the
doubt, yeah.
start. It's all gas. It's Todd Howard. It's Starfield, all the way through to Arcane and saying, "Hey, bite me." Like, you know what I mean? And in between a million different games, what was it? It was more than 30 games with 27 of them coming to Game Pass. I might be getting the numbers wrong.
Ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the overwhelming majority being Game Pass day and day.
And I just wanted to point out that there was a lot of predictions going into this. I had thought that we were going to get Halo Infinite first, get that out of the way, and then we'll close out with Starfield. That's what I was hoping.
Yeah.
But the fact that Xbox was like, nope, Bethesda, you're going to open and close the show. You're going to give us all the good stuff. Like, I really feel good about this, the future here for Bethesda as a huge Bethesda fan. And yeah, man, this was a great showing. Lots of great games.
I was going to comment on the structure as well. I just thought when they started with Starfield, I was like, ooh, okay, bold choice, you know? And then they had Halo Infinite in the middle, and it was just perfection, everything that I wanted. And then wrapping it up with vampires, I was just like, okay, they nailed it for me. So yeah.
And to put a bow on it, you know, leading into it, they talked about there will be a clear delineation between Xbox and Bethesda, which I for sure thought it was going to be, whatever, half Xbox, and then now let's turn it to our friends at Bethesda.
Could have been easily like
And
that.
instead, they delineated by saying, hey, I'm Todd Howard from Bethesda. Hey, I'm Pete Hines from Bethesda. Hey, I'm Phil from Xbox. And they shook it up that way so you knew what you were getting and how this whole ecosystem was going to work. That's impressive.
Yeah,
I
very
felt like
cool.
the timing was perfect, and they delivered on every single title as much as I wanted. I didn't feel like, oh, I want more.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay, I'm getting a waterfall of info here, you know? So props to y'all.
Great stuff. But there can be only winner for the most anticipated game overall. A tough decision, I'm sure, amongst our media panel, but they decided to give the most anticipated game of 2021 to I was going to see what they wanted. It's Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon 5 won most anticipated game overall.
Forza Horizon 5.
Shocking. Not because Forza's not a great game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I would have, if you would have asked me, I'm going to say it's going to be Halo or it's going to be Breath of the Wild.
too.
And you
Yeah.
assume you get into one of the classic situations at an E3, right? Where the votes got broken. Where it was that a whole bunch of people went for Breath of the Wild and a whole bunch of people went the other direction for Halo or for whatever, and then here you go.
Well,
Forza's
also
able to surge
remember
ahead.
too, this is 2021, so perhaps the panel was also looking at what games
Great
are going to be
point.
coming out
You're
this
right.
year. Forza,
You're right.
obviously, always a winner. Every Forza Horizon game has been brilliant. So this is not a shocker to me because these games are great. Visually speaking as well, ridiculous. Like the whole time we're like, is that a picture? Or no, that's the game. And they knew it and they kept doing it and it worked every single time. Brilliant.
Yeah, think I was telling Golden Boy earlier that I'm a very awful driver, and so I love games like this because then I can just like drive in these beautiful landscapes and incredibly expensive cars and, you know, not damage anything.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, that's the best part.
I love these racing games.
Remind me never to get in a car with Jackie. Stay away from riding with Jackie.
That was a
ladies
shocking
and
winner,
gentlemen.
though.
It was, but one of the reasons I think it's shocking, but one of the reasons it's really cool is what you said, right? Is that year in, year out, Forza Horizon is great. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so usually when you have something like that, what happens? Oh, you start to take it for granted. Oh, that's going to be awesome no matter what. I'm excited by the bells and whistles. I'm excited for the brand new thing. And then here you are. Everybody understands.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this year's coverage of E3, everyone. A huge thank you to our friends at Binge and iHeartRadio, the #1 podcasting platform in the United States. Of course, thank you to our entire media crew, the team at IGN, and all the developers over the last 4 days. I will leave you with one final message. We will see you all back here in person, live from Los Angeles in 2022. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Et bien voilà, c'est terminé, clap de fin pour le 3 2021. Comme ils viennent de l'annoncer, la version 2022 sera sans restriction Covid apparemment. Enfin en tout cas ils l'espèrent. Et elle se passera bel et bien à Los Angeles comme les autres années. Plutôt une bonne nouvelle. Donc espérons que du coup il y ait plus de studios et moins de grabuge comme cette année. Un magnifique frigo bien évidemment. Qui est disponible à l'achat bientôt, je crois, en novembre, je sais plus quand. En tout cas voilà. C'en est terminé pour l'E3 2021, clap de fin. Bonne fête au Jean-François Régis. Et puis voilà quoi, c'était trop cool. Tac. Tac. Alors mince, je sais pas écrire. Voilà, et bien en tout cas c'était super bien. Franchement j'ai plutôt aimé ces awards. Bon après voilà, le 3 2021 en lui-même était pas top. Ça s'est rattrapé vers la fin, je dirais, avec les confs Nintendo, etc. Mais voilà, on n'a pas eu les AAA ou les licences. Enfin, personnellement, j'ai pas eu les licences que j'attendais le plus. Et ouais, il y a eu beaucoup de chahuts, malheureusement. On aura le temps d'en reparler, bien évidemment. Je sais pas trop quand, peut-être demain ou après-demain, ou je ne sais quand. J'ai très chaud. J'ai très chaud. L'enfer. J'étais bien évidemment accompagné de la petite tourtelle. On l'oublie jamais celle-ci. Donc voilà. Voilà, on a quelques images, quelques extraits de ce qu'on a pu avoir. Tac. Bon, bah voilà, on a les avis qui sont déjà là. Oh putain, c'est descendu à 20 millions ouverts d'un coup. Voilà, allez, on va mettre des petits cœurs. Parce qu'on est des gens très sensibles et très sympas. Voilà, c'en est terminé pour cette E3 2021. Rendez-vous en 2022. Tac. Voilà, on a tous les crédits dans ce coup qui s'affichent. C'est club de fin pour tout le monde. Eh bien moi aussi. Je m'en vais. Tac. Passez une bonne soirée, une bonne nuit. Et puis peut-être dans la semaine.